everyone's having a fantastic week and a very successful day. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Show. I have an incredible, loaded, powerful topic. 7 steps that if you use these steps every single day and make it part of you and focus on it, you're going to have a different mindset, a different attitude. More importantly, you're going to see a lot more success happening, not only in your personal life, but in your business life. Very loaded. I'm excited for you and for what I'm about to share. But before we dig into the topic, if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, if you want to follow me on this channel, just hit the subscription button below. If you like this podcast show, hit the like button, and also share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think, because I'm always looking to improve my content so that I can help you with your business. Okay? Now, let's dig into this topic. It's the 7 powerful tools or action steps to becoming successful, not only in business, in selling, but in your personal life. And you have to really think about these steps. They're very simple steps, yet they're very powerful and effective. The problem is people are lazy today. People don't like to think. They just like to react. They like to be emotional about things. Okay? So I'm here to help you out. So these 7 powerful tools and action steps for success are game changers. They've changed me many times. And so when you think about these, always look at how do you go about doing that. Does that make sense? Because if you have a strong enough why you want to do something, the how will follow. Okay? Now, the number one thing is this. You got to have the right goal. Does that make sense? I know people that, they have these goals, they have these ideas, but they don't take the action. Why? Because it's not the right goal. It's not in them. It's not burning in their heart. It's not burning in their gut. They don't have the passion to really go through the process for that right goal. So you got to have the right goal. But you need to ask yourself a couple questions pertaining to the right goal. The question is this. Do you have the right goal? Think about it. Do you? You need to ask yourself that question. And then, are you focusing on that right goal? See, it's easy to lose focus this day and age with all the social media platform and everything online where it's 24/7. People could get distracted. I'm guilty of that. It happened to me, but I caught myself in time. So ask yourself those 2 questions based on the right goal. Do you have the right goal? And are you focusing on the right goal? Does that make sense? Now, number 2 is education and preparation. This is important because I personally believe the education we have today is not real education. To me, it's all propaganda. It's about destroying the mind. It's about destroying you as a person. So you have to be able to know what the right education is for your particular business, your industry. For me, I'm a professional salesman. I'm an entrepreneur and business owner. So I know the education I need to have. And there's certain laws and certain things that I follow to make sure I'm obeying that right education. And then the preparation. Because if you have the wrong education, you're going to prepare wrong for whatever you do, right? Like starting a podcast, right? I've never done this before. I finally decided to do it. I had to educate myself. What's the right way to go about it? And then once I learn it, then I start to apply it or preparing for it through the right education that I learned. But you got to ask yourself a couple questions with education and preparation. Do you have the right education in preparing yourself for success? Think about it. These are very fundamental, simple questions, yet they're very powerful. Does that make sense? Now, number 3, when I speak to people about number 3, they look at me like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Number 3 is good health. What I mean by good health, let me give you some examples. You could be physically in shape, meaning your exterior, you could look good, your skin is good, your body is good, but inside you may not be healthy. You may have cancer that you don't know about. You may have diabetes you don't know about. That's health. But more importantly, you got to have mental health. You got to be strong mindset, thinking the right thoughts, the right way. That's the most important health you can have, because your physical health is determined by your mental health. Now, personally, me, I don't believe in psychiatrists or psychologists or anything like that. I just don't. Because they don't even understand what the mind is or what the brain is. That's another day for another topic. But I just want to keep it simple. So you got to be physically healthy, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy. All of it. Because when you want to do what you do, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of health to be able to move forward and focusing on that right goal. Now ask yourself this question as far as health. Are you taking care of your health? Think about it. What you eat, what you don't eat, how you think, what you don't think, or the wrong thinking, all of that is part of health. Right? Now, when you're sick in the hospital, do you think about money and all that? No, you think about you want to get better, right? Well, why didn't you think about that before you got sick? So your health is very important. Okay, number 4 is drive. Do you have the drive to keep going forward and focusing and discipline to attaining your right goals? Think about that. Because you're going to run into challenges. You're going to run into obstacles. You could prepare as much as you want, but there's things that you just don't know that's coming, that you just have to be mentally prepared to deal with it. That's part of the learning. Does that make sense? Now, what you need to ask yourself is the drive. Do you have the drive to your right goal? Ask yourself that. Is it in me? Do I have the gut? Do I have the passion, the drive to keep moving forward? And for me, up to this day, I still have a drive. It's a different drive, but I still have it. Because I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. And it's not work for me. It's just what I love to do. But I have the drive to be very successful in the process to getting to the end. Does that make sense? Now, number 5 is resourcefulness. Think about that. Are you resourceful? Here's some questions you need to ask yourself about being resourceful. Okay? Are you a problem solver? Do problems overwhelm you? Or do you take problems, you embrace it, you figure out the cause of the problem, eliminate it, fix it, and then overcome it? Now you get a better result. So ask yourself, are you a problem solver? For me personally, as a salesman and as a business consultant and entrepreneur, I solve problems. That's what I do. And that's what we all should do. Solve your problems, solve other people's problems as far as business is concerned. There's personal problems that I can't help nobody with. But are you a problem solver? It's important. Also, are you resourceful? Do you get up every day excited, no matter what happens, and you take it on again? When days don't look good, especially with this pandemic and everything going on, were you still resourceful? Ask yourself that. And the third question in this, do obstacles that are in your way stress you out? You see, the number 1 cause of heart disease is stress. The second one is the food we eat. Do things stress you out when they don't go your way? Do you worry about it? Or do you embrace it and love it and turn it into an opportunity? Ask yourself that question. Just think about it. Because there's going to be a point in your life where you're going to have to do that. So that's resourceful. Number 5 is resourcefulness. Number 6 is perseverance. Very powerful. Do you persevere? Do you have what I call stick-to-it-iveness? Do you stick with it? Or do you get discouraged and you quit? Does that make sense? So you really got to think about it. Do you keep plugging along? Do you make the necessary changes? Do you stick to it? If you love what you do and you're passionate about it, there's nothing that should get in your way. It may get in your way, but you brush it. You embrace it. And let me tell you something. Me personally, I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. When problems occur, or challenges happen, or adversity takes place, I embrace it all. And I figure out the cause. There's only 2 causes. Either I did something wrong that caused that to happen, or it's supposed to happen so I can learn some lessons and then do something about it. Because you see, we are our worst enemies. We create problems, yet we want to blame somebody else, or we want to blame something else. We want to make excuses. Does that make sense? You can't persevere when you do that. You're just going to fail. So you got to persevere. You got to stick to it. Just think about that. Whether you're a salesman, whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, real estate, husband and wife, whatever the case may be, when you have a goal and you have the right goal and you have all the other steps, then you should be able to be perseverant, or you should persevere. Does that make sense? Or have stick-to-it-iveness. Because it's easy to quit. Right? Now, number 7 is a very personal one for me. But I'm not going to make this number 7 for you guys. For me, number 7 is having a relationship with God. And that's number 1 for me. But if I said that in the beginning, you probably change this video and you probably just move on. But that's for me personally. Because everything else comes from Him. However, number 7 for you guys, which I believe you should focus on, is being a salesperson. That's right. Being a salesperson. Because if you got ambitious goals and you're focusing on that, you have to learn how to sell. Because your goal cannot be accomplished alone. You're going to eventually need people to be part of that vision, that goal, right? So you got to sell people. You have to be a salesperson. You have to become a salesperson. You have to start loving to become a salesperson. Because if you put that in your mind, all the other steps come, they follow. Because a salesman and an entrepreneur and a business owner are problem solvers. They figure out the causes. They figure out the needs and the wants of people. And they fill those voids. So you have to be a salesperson. I speak to, entrepreneurs and small business owners. I chat with them online. And they don't like selling. I say, you're crazy. You want to make sales, but you don't want to do the selling. How are you going to accomplish your goals? Think about that. We're all salespeople. I'll give you an example. Those of you that might go to a social event or networking event or a nightclub or a gathering of people, you talk to people, you're selling yourself. You want them to like you, right? You go on a job interview. Let's say they spoke to 10 people before you. You have to sell the human resources person or the owner why they should hire you over the other 10 people that they interview or the other people they will interview you, right? So just think about that. And people are always buying, right? So someone's selling it. Think about it. You have to embrace that, especially if you're an entrepreneur and a small business owner. You have to be your best salesperson. Because first you got to sell your vision and your goal to people, right? Then you got to sell the value that you have to offer. But if they don't believe you're valuable personally, they're not going to buy what you're offering. Does that make sense? So that's important for you guys to know and understand that, selling is important. Because people buy one of two ways. They either want something or they need something. Does that make sense? So you have to really, really, really consider that. And, I'm excited about this topic. I use these steps every single day. These are fundamental steps that when you apply them consciously and willingly, they become part of you. And I'll give you one last example about this. It's like a script for selling. People think they don't need a script. Well, that's a yes and no answer. When you're first learning a product, you need to learn the script so that you could take all the information and tell a story within that script. Then after saying it many times and doing it, then you don't need the script. It becomes part of you. You know how to tell the story without the script, but you needed the script. And the script is like a path, right? It's like the car. Well, that's what a salesman is. That's what these steps are. It's a vehicle to get to your goal. And like I said, number 7 for me is a relationship with God. That's something that's personal for you. But number 7, like I said, become a salesperson. Embrace it. Learn to love it. If you want to learn to become a salesperson, and you want to make changes, and you want to accomplish those goals, I'm going to offer this to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow me just by hitting subscription below. If you like this topic, give me a thumbs up, and also share your comments, and also share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Direct message me, and I will respond to you in 24 hours. And I would do a one-on-one to help you really develop that mindset. Because once you make those fundamental changes, you're going to see your business grow. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So anyway, I want to thank all of you who are watching this video and this podcast on YouTube. Thank you for being part of the Paul Cruz Show. I hope this has been helpful. Again, if you like this video, smash that like button. Also share this video with others. Till we speak again, I say goodbye. Thank you.